Hi guys, Owen from LES. So today we're going to touch on the Dig screen. Again, we're still on the Leica Icon 3D software platform, 3D GPS machine control system. So we've already covered tools and settings. Project, just while we're here, actually, we just go into project. This is basically just selecting your active project. So at the moment we have LES Office. If you need to change it, just select it from here. That's all really you're doing in the project menu. I'll give you a few details of what's about the project. So we have LES Office is the active project, the machine we're using, and that project is the LES Demo Case 210, position sensor and reference models we're using. That's all really there is to project. And we will touch on create surface on a different video. So at the moment, we're just going to go into the Dig screen again. So this is your main menu or home page. You see when you power up your panel, you'll come to this. So Dig, again, when you go into Dig, if you've just turned on your panel, really, you just need to give it a couple of minutes to initialize. So the GPS is receiving corrections and all. If you go straight into Dig, you'll just come up red bar, sort of saying 2D sensors initializing, CQ too high. It just takes a couple of minutes for that all to start working, and then you can go into Dig. So I just tend to sit in the home page for a couple of minutes until you go in, check it out then. So basically, so this is your Dig screen, as you said, and we're going to start off with these two guys. So these are your cut and fill values. So left side is the left side of your bucket, right side is the right side of your bucket. Okay, so that's representing the right side of your bucket, and this is representing the left. So at the moment it's telling me I'm sort of 10 mil high, sort of on grade. Obviously we're in the green. If that was red, I'll show you now in a minute, it would mean we would still have to cut, we still have to come down quite a bit. Blue means we've over dug, so we'd have to come up and fill. So left is 11, right is 9 mil. The reason that's slightly different is these two numbers here. So you can see actual is 0%. So that means the way the machine is sitting. Obviously this is a simulator, so it's not reading any pitch and roll sensor. So you usually would have some reading in there, but the target, so the model is designed with that sort of cross slope at minus 1.6%. So because our actual isn't close or on our target slope, we're getting different readings here. If our actual was at minus 1.5, 1.6%, these would be bang on. Okay, there's not much in it, there's only 2 mil, so you can sort of say that we're 10 mil high. But yeah, actual, you want to meet your actual with your target with reference to the model. So this is a plan view of the machine and the model. It's in 2D. You can see this little icon here. That's a little button. So that's at 2D at the moment. So it's just looking down on the machine. It's good for lining up if you're working to any sort of a line. You can use this. So these two yellow lines, it's like a intersection there at the bucket. This yellow line following along is your reference. So at the moment we're working off the middle of our bucket. That's our reference point. Okay, our tool point. You can see it here also in the section view. That yellow cross here, it's in the middle of the bucket. If we wanted to use the left side of the bucket as a reference, there's actually a button on the panel itself around about here. Obviously this is simulator, so we can't see it. If you just press that left hand button, it'll bring this cross here over to the left side of the bucket. Same with the right, to bring it over to the right side bucket, pressing the button. You'll see the line here change from middle to left or to right. So that's the reference point of your bucket that you're using at the moment. This yellow line here, that is your cutting edge. So that's your reference, your bucket reference. We're always using the cutting edge of a bucket, be it a grading bucket, a gummy bucket, or with teeth on. It's always a cutting edge as your reference. So that's what we're digging to. We're using that point. So you can see if we zoom in again on the section view, you can see sort of here, there is a gap sort of from the tip of the bucket to the reference line, which is their grade. So you're sort of 12 mil, same on the right. It's just good to use this section view to be able to zoom in nice and tight to how far you actually are off your grade. It's telling you here now, but it's good to be able to see it in the section view. With regards to views, we'll stay on the plan view for a second. So if we zoom out with the 2D, so if it's say if it's a 2D DXF we're after bringing in, you can use the 2D DXF in 2D mode only. So it will stay in 2D. If you have a 3D DXF, you can select that button again and bring it to 3D, and then you can manipulate the view of the actual excavator and what you're seeing. So you can rotate around the machine, you can zoom in, obviously zoom out. It's not just a plan view like in 2D. So it's handy to be able to zoom in to it's always going to zoom into whatever reference point you're working on your bucket. So say if we were working to the left of that bucket, if we was to zoom in anymore, if you zoom in, it's just we're working off the middle, so this is where we're zooming into. So this is the model. Obviously, as you can see the triangles. You can change the model if you wanted. So if you didn't want to see the triangles, just go into configure models, tools, configure models. This is the active model that we're using at the moment, TRM. So you can hit that spanner, bring it into the settings. So you can see that draw triangles is selected. So if you didn't want to see the triangles, you can unselect that, go back out using this blue arrow and X, and then the triangles are gone, but obviously you can't see anything now. It's still giving you your cut and fill values. If you were to move outside that model, it would the cut and fill values would say off grid, but you can't see because you've removed those 3D surfaces, the triangles. And what you could do is add in a DXF. So say if we just go to exit, go back into settings, surface. So there's our active models, the terrain models we're digging to. What we could do is add in a DXF. So it's like almost like a background image. It's putting that same model, but it's just a DXF, so there's no triangles. There shouldn't be. Let me see. So when I add in the DXF, okay, so that's a help model. So that's just going to show us the lines. You can't dig to it with height or position, so it's slightly different. So there's still triangles in the DXF that we brought in, but it's probably easier to read. You can change those colors as well. Well, they have to be changed in AutoCAD or some CAD package. You can't actually change the colors when you're in here. But say if we were to, so like that, we're not digging to this DXF at the moment. We're just using that as a background, just so we can see the lines if you get me. So if that DXF is brought in without these triangles, it won't show them. It'll just give you these red lines or whatever color they were when you brought them out of the package. So those triangles will be gone, and you just use these lines to dig to. The reason we're getting these cut and fill values is because we're still digging to the TRM, the terrain model that we have that we're working off. So I'll just show you again. If we just try these triangles back on, so you see the white is sort of covered in the green. So that DXF is still there, but the white triangles we've drawn back on the TRM, so you can sort of see them intertwined there, the white and the green there, you know. So we're still working to that digital terrain model. That's where we're getting our cut and fill values. On the DXF, you can't use it, you can't dig to it in height, and you can't select the line off. It's just literally a background image you can use to sort of line yourself up. It's the TRM that we're digging to. Okay, so we'll just remove that DXF, go back into surface, across the help models, and just red X. Okay, back into dig. Okay, so we're back in. What you can also do, some people like, some people don't like, down to preference, is you can create textures over those triangles. So if we click enable textures and we just scroll back first, we see what color I set this. So it's green, the surface color is green, and the break line color is green. So if we go back out and see, so it's in 2D, it doesn't show it. Click 3D, it'll show you there. So it sort of creates textures obviously over the triangles. It's totally up to you. Like, it's not, it's literally down to operator's preference. If you're like that is a car park, so you could just, for example, change the color. Obviously it's tarmac, a bit darker. It's totally up to you. It's just something that you can do. Okay, we'll just take those back off. So we'll go into enable textures, unselect. Okay, so we're back to our original terrain model. So with the views, the view button here down the bottom left, it's just giving you different options that you can use to view how you view the panel, how you view the machine in operation. So overview, you have your plan view here, and you have your section view. Overview, extended overview, sorry, is giving you both with the profile view. So it's giving you a side view of the bucket here, as you can see. As you're moving the machine, you will see the bucket curling in and out, open and closing. Same with the plan view, that machine will move as you're moving the machine. Dipper arm, boom, if you're rotating or if you're moving the bucket, you'll see it all moving here. But this profile view will show you the bucket. Again, it's just to, you can zoom in tight to show you how far you are off the actual grade. Plan view, it's just the machine. Section view, again, just a section view, and then profile view, just a profile view. Totally up to yourself. This is probably the most common, is overview, but again, it's totally up to however you want to see it. Arrow view I've never used really. Cut and fill, yeah, that's handy to have if you just don't want graphics or anything, just want to see a big green on the screen, then you know that you're on grade or close to it. This will cut in at 50 mil, it's set to. So I'll just show you. And she goes green. If you're 50 mil or higher, she'll go red. So just from view into tools, just go to vertical offset. So this is one way of adding in a vertical offset, is going into tools and selecting this menu. There are buttons again over here, you'll see on the panel itself, up and down arrows, you can just add in an offset, but it's only going to give you a 10 mil increment. So if I'm putting an offset, it'll bring it down. As you can see here, this vertical offset has come in and shown me how much of an offset we've put in. So I've put in a 50 mil offset. You can see the green cut and fill values have changed to red because I'm above that sort of 50 mil tolerance. You can change that tolerance if you want. If you want it down to 20 mil, you can change that. And so it should only go green at 20 mil, whatever you want to have it work to. She set at 50 mil as it comes out. So you can see here again, this is the vertical offset. So these are singles, 10s and 100s. So if I want to say 55 mil, I'll add the single, 65 mil, I'll add 10, and 165 mil to 3. So we just exit that out. You just zoom in on the section view. So see, there's two lines here now. So your light blue and your dark blue. So your light blue is your original design surface. So this is what you've been given in the model. The fact that you've added in a 165 mil offset means that you've brought your target surface down 165 mil. So the dark blue is now your target grade. So again, if I add in another, say, 200 mil vertical offset, so you can see that that's gone down. So this is telling me now that I'm 377 mil on the left high, 375. Again, if I match the actual with my target, that would be bang on. Same in each. It's pretty close now. And then you're obviously seeing this, your on grade line is is coming down, obviously, because you're adding in the offset. The closer you start digging now, imagine you're digging, these will start coming down. Closer you get to your grade, the bucket will get closer to the blue bar, and then once you get it within 50 mil, you'll go green on grade. So imagine, I'm just going to do this here. Imagine we're actually digging down. Say we start taking 10s off, closer and closer. 100, so now I'm 100, now I'm 75 mil. So now I'm coming down. Now I'm at my 50 mil. She's gone green on the right, 52 on the left. So once I start coming down, so I take off my offset. There's no more offset shown here. And now I'm on grade, and I'm back to my original design. That's just showing you the vertical offset and showing you how you'd see this in real time on the panels. Tools again, configure models. So if you have what we done in settings, so I'll just show you real quick again. So exit out, surface. So whatever models we have here in this drop down menu, you can select from your dig screen. So just exit these out. So if I can't go into my dig screen now because I haven't got a model selected, but say if I add in just a one, if I have one model here, if I go back into my dig screen, I can only select that one model. Any models up here, they're not selected yet. So I need to add them into my bar. Now I have 2 models in. Okay, if I had 5 models here and 2 models up there, I could select these 5. I couldn't select these 2 on the dig screen. Okay, so we just exit out there again, dig. So you don't have to necessarily go back into that surface to select your model. Once they're in that drop down menu, I can go into configure models and I can select whichever one I want to dig to. If I had 5, I'd have a list of 5 there. Okay, these spanners are just your settings again. Colors, if you want to have your triangles on, break lines, if you want to add in a vertical offset on the model. Other than that, enable textures, put that surface on, totally up to yourself. So then, store point options. We're going to go through the rest of these in more detail on a different video. So, store point option, monitor screen, guideline options, hold slope, stuff like that. Basically, monitor screen is just showing you your coordinates. So, bucket reference point, northings, easing, and height. So that would be my bucket reference point is set to the center. So this would be the center of my bucket. Left to the bucket, cutting it, left furthermost left to the bucket, northings, eastings, height, same to the right. Okay. Not much else you need to do on that. And then, so we'll have design here. So your design is what your model is at the moment. So say if I change that offset again, if we add in an offset, we'll put in, you see the design model has changed. So this is the height we're digging to. We want to dig to at the moment. Just get that out. Elevation is the same. You will have on your, actually when you're connected to GPS, you will have your CQ here, which is your accuracy. So that should be around 20 mil, and above 50 mil, will come up a red bar. CQ too high, and then your cut and fill values will turn off. It'll basically say off grid. It won't let you dig if you're 50 mil, if your accuracy is above 50 mil. You can change that if you want. If you want that to change at 100 mil or 20 mil, you can change that if you need to. But it's set at 50 mil. So once you start seeing this creeping up, it could be if you're moving a bit closer to tree coverage or anything like that. If you just have bad signal, if you're on SmartNet, you just see that creeping up. If she gets to 50, she'll cut out here, red bar, and these cut and fill values will go. Other than that, there's not really much else on the dig screen for now. We will go into more detail with the store point and guideline options and hold slope. But at the moment, that's basically what you're mainly going to be touching at, is just the views and changing the models, and maybe a vertical offset. But again, there are buttons over here that will change that. Then just so that's it, guys, for now. That's the dig screen, covered some of it. We will again go through some of the tools. Other than that, we'll call it a day, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, guys.